My mission is clear. I'm focused. I'm prepared. I'm ready. I've been trained by the best. I went to Howard University that overturned legal segregation in this country. I've been taught in those classrooms where Thurgood Marshall once taught. I'm not afraid of no president. Donald Trump, we're ready for you. We're coming for you. We're standing up for you. We're fighting on. We're not going down silent. Victory, my friends, is clear. It's now. And I'm not waiting 4 years. I'm waiting 2 until a speaker by the name of Hakeem Jeffries comes to bring us some rest. Come on, ladies. It's up to us. We saved this democracy before. We'll save it now. Let's go.
James has now responded after she was referred to the DOJ for possible prosecution over suspected mortgage fraud. This has been a big story this week that we brought to our viewers actually yesterday. James's office came out with this statement. Attorney General James focused every single day on protecting New Yorkers, especially as the administration weaponizes the federal government. She will not be intimidated, by bullies, no matter who they are. Documents from the Federal Housing Finance Agency are accusing her of falsifying records to receive favorable loan terms. She's also accused of listing a Virginia home as her primary residence and then listing her father as her husband on mortgage applications. What do you make of this?
Boy. So we got to talk about Letitia James, the Trump deranged attorney general from New York, or who knows, maybe she's not actually from New York. Maybe she's from Virginia, because according to a mortgage application, this home in Virginia is her primary residence, right? Which is funny because it's like, how can you be the attorney general of New York when you claim that you live in Virginia, right? That is your primary residence. Again, that is the controversy here surrounding Letitia James, because it seems as if she has committed financial crimes, financial fraud, the same type of fraud that she accused President Trump of, okay? That she weaponized her office as New York Attorney General to go after her political opponents. The same crimes that she accused President Trump of, that is exactly what she was doing. Now, the difference is that President Trump had a private transaction with banks. Letitia James basically defrauded the government, right? Because we're talking about federal loans, okay? We're talking about loans that are given out with taxpayer dollars. She allegedly defrauded the government, okay? And now, because this information has come out, it seems as if the Trump administration has Letitia James in a position where they could potentially go after her, right? Basically, the tables have turned, okay? The tables have turned. And Letitia James is lashing out at President Trump, claiming that she is being bullied and that he is weaponizing the federal government against her, which is, again, a pretty hilarious accusation considering how this woman is weaponizing the New York State against President Trump, right? That is what she did with his business fraud case. And again, the case is so bad that a lot of experts agree that the New York Appeals Court is likely to overturn it. But regardless, I mean, this woman tried to bully President Trump out of $450 million worth of property. And now all of a sudden, she's boohoo whining crying victim when she got caught red-handed. Again, you can't make this stuff up. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this.
New York Attorney General Letitia James. She sued Trump over real estate fraud, and now the feds say she may have falsified mortgage documents. We start there at 6. I'm David Usher.
I'm Natalie Pascarella. The Trump administration has now asked the Justice Department to consider criminal charges against James.
Our chief investigative reporter, Jonathan Dietz, live with the details. Jonathan?
David, Natalie, the Trump Justice Department says it is now deciding whether to investigate State Attorney General James for possible mortgage fraud. The issues focus mainly on 2 properties, one here in New York, the other in Virginia. James denies wrongdoing. She says the Trump administration is weaponizing the federal government and is now wrongly trying to bully her.
I just can't. I cannot get over the irony of Letitia James claiming that President Trump is trying to bully her, that the Trump administration is trying to bully her, and that they're weaponizing the federal government against her, when that's the exact same thing she was doing in New York. She literally ran on, I'm going to get Trump. She literally ran on bullying President Trump. That's what she ran on. That's what she ran on. And now all of a sudden when the tables are turned, she don't like it. She wants to accuse others of what she's doing. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Everything these people say is just projection, right? That's all it is. It is projection at this point. And again, it's unbelievable. It really is. I mean, and this is pretty solid, right? Like, this isn't like nitpicky type of stuff. Like, I mean, we have all the documentation. We're going to look at the documentation here later. But I mean, this is open and shut, to be honest with you. Okay. If they file charges, they're going to have a very, very, very strong case against Letitia James. Okay. I mean, I don't understand how you can be New York Attorney General while at the same time claiming that you live in Virginia, right? Like, I mean, that in and of itself is a problem. Okay. It should be a big problem. And yeah, this is pretty bad for her. And again, this is why, she's coming out. We're investigating President Trump for insider trading, right? So, it's one of those things where she is weaponizing her office against President Trump, right? But she doesn't feel like it's okay for that to be done to her, right? When it's done to her, then all of a sudden, it's a problem. Again, the big difference is that Letitia James, she's reaching. She doesn't have anything, okay? She's reaching. President Trump, with this case right here, yeah, they got something, right? They definitely got something on Letitia James. This is legit. This isn't really revenge or retribution. This is just Letitia James was sloppy, right? She got caught with her pants down here. That's exactly what happened. She was real sloppy. You better make sure your house is in order before you start going out to other people. I'm just saying, like, that's generally the rule, okay? If you're going to be going out to other people like she is, you better make sure all of your ducks are in a row. So when you get that same energy, you're good to go. But apparently she didn't, right? And again, this is kind of what happens, okay? The most corrupt individuals are always the ones pointing the fingers at others, claiming corruption, okay? Because again, a lot of this stuff is just projection, okay? I don't think that this is the end for Letitia James, to be honest with you, in regards to what's coming. I think there's a lot more out there, and this is just the beginning, to be honest with you.
This Norfolk, Virginia home is co-owned by Attorney General Letitia James. That, according to records that appear to show, she may have claimed that house as her principal residence. The Federal Housing Finance Agency director, who previously was a Trump fundraiser, sent a criminal referral to the Justice Department calling for a mortgage fraud investigation into James, alleging she appears to have falsified records to receive favorable loan terms. Sam Antar, an accountant by training and past convicted felon, first raised questions about James's property-related records.
If she did actually use it as a primary residence, she'd be disqualified automatically as the Attorney General. If she didn't actually use it as a primary residence, she would be committing mortgage fraud. So take one or the other.
Late this afternoon, James's office said the co-owner, her niece, used the Virginia home as her primary residence. Questions also raised about James's Brooklyn home. 2001 city records show it was a 5-family dwelling, which experts say would require a commercial property loan with perhaps higher interest rates. But James allegedly listed it as a 4-family unit. A James spokesperson would not say if any units have since been combined, as a property of 4 can be backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, often qualifying for better interest rates and a lower down payment. James's office says since she has owned the Brooklyn building, it has always been a 4-residence home. A spokesman for James today said the Trump administration weaponizes the federal government against the rule of law and the Constitution. She will not be intimidated by bullies, no matter who they are. In Washington, Attorney General Pam Bondi was asked on Fox about the criminal referral.
Of course, we'll be reviewing it.
State Attorney General James won a civil case against Donald Trump and his organization for fraud, and he's appealing the nearly $500 million in fines. Veteran white-collar crime attorney Brad Simon says he has questions about the seriousness of and the motive behind the criminal referral.
Maybe there's some merit to it, but this is not the way you conduct an investigation. Perhaps she did something wrong, but it should be done in a fair manner.
Antar.
What's unfair about it? What you mean, what's unfair? What's unfair? I mean, we have the documents. We got the paperwork. This woman apparently doesn't know how many rooms she has in her house, right? Apparently she doesn't know exactly where she stays. Okay, apparently, again, she said that she stays in Virginia, that she is, her primary residence is in Virginia. This is what she said. even though she is the Attorney General of New York. So again, I'm trying to figure out exactly what's unfair about it. She just got caught. She just got caught. Again, see, my only problem with this is that if the DOJ brings charges, the first thing the liberal media is going to say, oh, well, it's weaponized, right? They're only doing it because it's Letitia James. It's like, no. Letitia James got caught. There's nothing that's being weaponized here, right? Because honestly, at the end of the day, this is not making stuff up. This is not nitpicky stuff. Like, she lied, allegedly, to receive favorable loan terms, right? She basically defrauded taxpayers, okay? She defrauded the federal government. I mean, there are people who went to jail for that, right? A lot of people who went to jail for that. Again, this is not a made-up thing. What Letitia James did out in New York City to President Trump was made up, right? That was actually made up, okay? You haven't had too many people that have been found civilly liable for fraud, business fraud, when both parties, banks and President Trump said, no, we're good. This was a great business transaction. We both made money and that was it. Nobody was harmed, right? Nothing at all, right? Like, again, that's typically not what happens. But when you talk about defrauding the federal government, lying to the federal government in order to receive favorable loan, we've seen a lot of people face prosecution for that. So again, I don't want to hear nothing about it's not fair, and the sisters being weaponized against her. Trump is just trying to get revenge. No, this is not nitpicky stuff. It's one thing if they were really just grasping for straws. No, that's not what this is. This is legit, right? This is a serious thing.
Says he is not part of any so-called Trump revenge tour targeting Trump opponents.
I did this out of my own time without any encouragement from anybody.
State AG James is accusing the Trump administration of cherry-picking information to try to damage her politically. This as President Trump took to social media this week to call her a crook, each side accusing the other of weaponization.
Yeah, so you see that, you heard that. Okay, so yeah, I mean, the documents are here, right? The documents are here. This is the House. This is the power of attorney, okay, that she signed. And in the power of attorney, she says, I hereby declare that I intend to occupy this property as my principal residence, which means that she intends to be there. I believe what it means, like, for most of the year. Like, this is where I live, okay? And she's not there, right? She doesn't live there. She's the Attorney General of New York. Like, that just doesn't make sense. So again, even in the power of attorney in and of itself, she literally says that, hey, this property is my principal residence. Wow. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. There are people saying they've never seen Letitia James at this place. Okay, let's read here. New York Attorney General Letitia James listed a Virginia home more than 300 miles from her office in New York City as her principal residence in official public documents obtained by the Post, but neighbors said Wednesday that they've never seen her. According to Norfolk property records, James granted power of attorney to her niece, Shamise Thompson Hairston, on August 17, 2023, authorizing the purchase of the Virginia property for which they secure a $219,780 mortgage. In the documents, James attested, quote, I hereby declare I intend to occupy this property as my principal residence. The document was witnessed by First Deputy Attorney General Jennifer Levy and a New York State Attorney and notarized. The modest 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house is now home to a woman and her daughter who moved in just a few months ago, according to people in the neighborhood. Before that, a husband and wife lived in a $240,000 house for about 4 years, said one neighbor who has lived near the property for 18 years and asked not to be identified. Quote, I've only met the new resident like maybe 2 or 3 times. She seemed really nice. The neighbor added of the residents, the last time I saw her was like maybe a week or so ago, and she was just outside smoking a cigarette, and we were talking about her grandkids, she said. It might have been maybe a little bit more than 3 months that she moved in because it was just before. The neighbor also said it's definitely not a year. The 1,450 square foot home is at the center of a federal criminal referral for mortgage fraud, alleging James falsified records to get more favorable loan rate when she purchased a residence in 2023 with her niece. Federal Housing Finance Agency Director William Pulte detailed these and other allegations of James playing fast and loose with residency requirements in a letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, obtained by the Post. Okay, yeah. So this is Letitia James outside of her house in Brooklyn, pretending to be on the phone, going full Kamala Harris, right? Dodging questions, refusing to answer questions about why is it that you are allegedly committing the same crimes that you claim that others are committing, that you went after people for. But also, she says that nobody is above the law, right? Nobody's above the law. So why are you not answering questions? Why are you not answering questions if nobody's above the law, right? So again, it's not just that, it's other stuff. Like, you know, for example, there's several documents in the letter to the DOJ that also shows James purchased property in 1983 and 2000 co-signed by her father, but falsely listed the pair as husband and wife. Yeah, so basically, she is playing loose and fast and loose with mortgage documents, right? She's basically falsifying information in order to meet certain requirements, right? And to receive favorable loan terms, okay? Which again is fraud, right? And, you know, it's just hilarious, right? I mean, this story is so ironic, okay? It really is. Pulte said this could amount to criminal charges, including wire fraud, mail fraud, bank fraud, and false statements to a financial institution, among others. Quote, Attorney General James is focused every single day on protecting New Yorkers, especially as this administration weaponizes the federal government against the rule of law and the Constitution. She will not be intimidated by bullies, no matter who they are, a spokesman for James' office said in a statement. Yeah, so they can cry bullying all they want, but this is not bullying, right? And this is not small. This is not nitpicky. This is Letitia James being held to the same standard that she has held other people to or tried to. And now is basically backfiring on her, right? It is coming back around on her. Now she has to live up to the same standards as everybody else. And lo and behold, she doesn't want to answer any questions. She wants to cry foul, say she's being bullied. And it's like, no, you're not being bullied. You signed up for this. This is exactly what you signed up for. When you started going after your political opponents, again, you should have made sure that your closet was clean, right? But, you know, this is where we're at. I'm hoping that there's more that comes out, you know, maybe about this or something else. I believe there's more skeletons in Letitia James' closet. I just think that this is the beginning. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.